So as you know, you have 15 minutes to present. After your presentation, you'll have a seat and the commission will ask you questions.
Okay.
You may start.
Okay. So, good morning. I'd like to talk about the impact of blogs on above-level adult Chilean EFL students' ability to carry out communicative tasks. So, Martin, why did you pick this topic? Well, first, in the classroom, as an observation, I found that there were some students who finished worksheets really fast. They were just finishing in a matter of minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and they were like doing nothing in the classroom, using the cell phone, being disrupted. So I put my attention on these students. I wanted to do something about it. So I wanted to create a new environment to these students or to see what are they able to do it. So this is my question. What is the possible impact, if any, of course, that the use of blogs may have on a group of above-level adult Chilean EFL learners' ability to write communicative paragraphs? So my objectives are the following. First, of course, the general, to examine the possible impact that the blogs may have on these students, especially on communicative paragraphs. And my specific objectives, the first one is to quantify and compare the tasks before and after applying this strategy, the blogs. And then to assess these learners' writing process as they carry out these blog tasks, these writing tasks. So I don't care, not only care about the first task, but also the last one. Well, sorry, not only the first and the last one, but also the whole process, right? So my assumption is that the students actually collaborated and improved their communicative writing skills only by motivating them with extrinsic motivation. So what does the theory say about it? Well, first we have to define what above level means. And above-level students tend to have a better performance and proficiency than at-level students. Therefore, they might get frustrated, bored, and even disrupted because they lack challenges. So, for my study, above-level students are defined as the ones who perform better than the expected level of the class program. They are also defined as people that get usually bored because of the lack of challenges inside the classroom. So, blogs in L2 classrooms. By 2005, the blogs were only used for sharing materials, only giving images, just sharing material. But by 2009, this context changed a lot, and Higginson states that blogs actually can potentially students can get potentially benefits from blogs in terms of critical thinking, developing language skills, promoting independence, etc. So, this study defines the use of blog as instances for providing not only materials, but also increased language awareness, developing skills, etc. And also the opportunity to get personalized feedback. So communicative writing, as nowadays we know that we are living in a globalized world, and basically English is, fortunately for us, English is the mother tongue of the globalization movement, and according to these academics, writing in English is basically a must, especially when we are trying to communicate. So, Martin, how did you do it? How did you apply this strategy? Well, first I have to give a shape of my study, and first I have to say that my study was a mixed approach, because first I had a close relationship with the participants. I was not away from them. I didn't manage all the variables, and my analysis was merely qualitative. However, my data, which was basically my instrument was a rubric, my data was mainly quantitative. There were scores, performance, I don't know, fail marks, etc. So my paradigm is mostly it is interpretive. It has some shades of positivist because my data was gathered from an objective instrument, but my main focus was to interpret this information to have. Also, I didn't pick my students at random. I talk to them, I invite them to be part of this project. Right? So, as positivist paradigm do, they pick their subject at random, and I didn't do it. So my design is quasi-experimental. According to this academics, there is a strategy that is basically my study. I based my study on this strategy, that it is called simple time series design. So as you can see in the graph, there is an intervention before applying the whole strategy. As I did, I gave them a pilot task in order to have the very first paragraph of the students, and then I made a lot of tasks related to creating some new new paragraphs. So I was measuring all the intervention, the first one and the following ones. So this is my procedure. First, I applied a pre-test in order to identify these above-level students. 5 out of 15 students only passed the test, and only 3 of them agreed to be part of the project. Then I made them write a paragraph about free time, and this was also assessed. This was my pilot task. And then I made them to be part of the task in the blog, and it was like a whole month doing tasks twice a week, and then I assessed all the tasks, and finally I compared them in order to see the differences, and then I draw some conclusions from tables and graphs that I obtained. So my scenario, all the data was gathered using 2 online platforms. The first one is WordPress, was my blog, and then I used Google Docs in order to monitor them, to help them, to correct them, and in very real time. So my participants, as I said, there were 3 above-level learners, 1 male and 2 females. All of them were studying different disciplines, and this is pretty important. This is my rubric. I didn't make it. I took it from the Common European Framework. Especially this rubric is for assessing writing tasks, and it considers some important elements, some important descriptors such as content, communicative achievement, organization, and language. So this is a sample of one of my tasks. This is the first task. Is related to describe people, right? So this is the result. This is the participant number 1. This was the pilot task, and then I made them write again the paragraph, but after the whole strategy, and this was the result. And the product are pretty different. So that's how I organized my data. I created a table in which for each specific task, for each specific student was content, communicative achievement, organizational language. And then I make like an average for each student, and this was really helpful for drawing some conclusions. And I also created this a fluctuation graph in order to see for each descriptor, for each student, how did they perform in the classroom. So trustworthiness, every monitor session was being recorded with a desktop software in order to show that the students were actually being writing and monitored. I have a video I can show you later on. The assessment tool was taken from suggestive rubrics and by a descriptor by Common European Framework. Every single teacher, this is transferability, every single teacher with access to internet can create his or her own writing project based on blogs in order to make an impact on her or his or her students. So creating a blog is free. And these were the results. I mean, something really important and something that I'm going to stop just a little bit is that one participant was caught using translator. So I gave him immediately 0 points because of that, right? So one important element that I found in the results was that the students didn't improve that much in the communicative skill. Actually, they improved a lot in their organization descriptor. And all of them, as you can see, this is learner 1, sorry. This is learner 1, 2, and 3. On all of them were improving in organization because, I mean, I'm going to tell you later because why they improved in organization. But my answer to my question, did the blogs make an impact on their ability to write communicatively? Yes, they did. They actually improved in their overall performance, but in the organization's descriptor, they improved a lot. And I think that this happened because they actually are not used to writing English. So they don't know how to connect, they didn't know how to connect sentences. And if you see the very first paragraphs, they were just putting sentences with other sentences. And the task number 4, as you can see, all of them improved a lot in the task number 4. And task number 4 was mainly focused on cohesion. So they were aware about cohesion just from task number 4. And they actually learned it and used it. So my limitations, as I said, the use of external software, as I caught a student using a translator. It may be a limitation that some students may have used translator when they were working on the project. The dates, because we were in December and everyone is finishing every single subject, and sometimes the students were putting attention on another subject, and I understand it, but the process was really slow because of this. Prioritizing, as I said, some students weren't present when they were supposed to be, and I was like basically harassing them in order to make them write new tasks. Metacognitive analysis. Well, my main strength was that I was really patient with these students because I was like hoping that because they wanted to help or they wanted to learn, and they were going to be part of this, but sometimes they weren't that willing to help me or to create a new task. So I was always asking them, I was always pressuring them. And one weakness is, from my point of view, the research area was that at first I was unable to transfer all the things that I wanted to do in the research. So I was writing reports, and Miss Isis was giving me always red marks because I was like, I don't know how to explain it, and I couldn't explain what I wanted to do. At the end, I could, but during the whole research process, I was really concerned about this issue. So that's it. There's another slide for references. So these are my references.